What is up, team? Welcome back to the Red Storm Rapid Reaction Podcast. I'm Pat Kane. St. John's gets an early head start on the Big East schedule. A home win against DePaul, moved to 1-0 in Big East play, 9-1 on the year. They win 86-67, a 19-point start to finish win. We finally see St. John's come out of the gates and score some points early. They had a 10-0 run to start the game. And before you knew it, St. John's was up by as many as 16 in the first half and was able to cruise to a victory. There were some ups and downs. There were some lapses. DePaul did close it to within 7, I believe, at one point. But other than that, it didn't really make any legitimate runs to put the pressure on us. And St. John's was able to constantly keep that 10-point cushion or so and eventually push up to about 20 points the second half. That first half, we dictated that pace. Obviously, against DePaul, you figure it's going to be an up and down game. They like to play into our style. They do it similarly, but not quite as good as we are. They're DePaul as it is, and not that St. John's is any sterling example of a basketball program, but we can look down at DePaul. We still can. But we dictated the pace. With that, playing up in with playing in the fast tempo we wanted, we were still taking care of the basketball. We only had 2 turnovers in the first half compared to the 8 we forced by DePaul. That played a big role in our ability to get some points early and get that lead. We won the field goal percentage battle. We shot 50% in the first half. They shot 39%. That's going to play a big role. And we also shared the ball. 11 assists in the first half. That's more than we had in the total game against Iowa State. So back to sharing the basketball, back to getting other people involved. It was good to see. First half highlight was definitely that Soriano dunk, monster dunk off a 3-on-1 break. They passed it back to him trailing in the paint, and he threw down a monster one-handed dunk from it seemed like halfway up the paint. I know it wasn't, but he really stretched that arm out and he finished it. It was really impressive. I thought Jones in the first half, obviously he's playing against his former DePaul team, so he probably had some emotions. He probably really amped up. I liked how he was aggressive attacking the glass in the first half. He had 7 first half rebounds. Really, he did take 1 deep 3 early, but he did make a concerted effort to make plays around the rim, and it got him going, got the team going. Those 7 first half rebounds were big, I thought. One negative I will say, and this has an extreme caveat on it. All right, we were up 10-0, as I said, but people are always clamoring to get Soriano the ball early. Right, myself included. Why not? The guy's a beast. Had another big game tonight. We didn't get him a touch for the first 5 possessions of the game, or 4 possessions of the game. I'm sorry. One of those was the 5th one was a fast break, so I'm not going to count that. But our first 4 half-court possessions of the game didn't even get him a touch inside, and we were scoring. Right, so we can't say it was a bad thing tonight. But to not even look, I thought was odd. And we were lucky enough to hit some shots. First possession was kind of a scramble play where Jones tracked down an offensive rebound in the corner. We get a look to Mathis after the fact. He hits a nice jumper. But still, look to feed Soriano. Get him involved. Get him going early. And it will have rewards throughout the game. We were up 40-29 at the half, 11-point lead. Another negative, I will say, and this is all couched with the fact that we just had a huge win to start Big East play. All right, so these are just, criticisms that we can learn from in wins. But again, we go into the half with our loser timeout, wasted. Didn't use it, lost it. And we had the ball with 15 seconds left, inbounding it far into the court. Perfect time to call up your timeout you're going to lose and run a play. Instead, Posh drives to the rim, ends up passing to Wusu for a deep contested 3 that doesn't go in. Not a good set. No excuse there not to call a timeout. I'll never be able to understand it. I can get you can get me convinced. His thought process to be hesitant using timeouts often is he wants the pace to pick up. He'd rather be chaotic. He doesn't want to give another team a chance to catch their breath. But there's 15 seconds left coming off a dead ball, man. You have a timeout. If you're a coach, you should feel confident in your ability to draw up something to get your team a good look. If not, what do you got to lose? We saw the look we got. Anyway, I digress. Second half. Before we get to the second half, let's go ahead and look at some of these stats I got here. So this was the first half comparison. As you can see, huge difference in field goal percentage, huge difference in rebounds, 22-16, huge difference in assists, steals, and we turned it over less. Obviously, you do those things, you're going to have a lead. We had as much of a 16-point lead in the first half. But again, we saw that dwindle down to 9 points at one point, and we still went in the half without using our timeout. I think we could have used it at one point. The one thing I will say about both these teams, an ugly 4 for 15 from three for DePaul, but outdid us 2 for 11 for 18% in the first half. Not pretty. Here's the first half box score. Some things I'll point out. Soriano, 12 first half points, 6 rebounds. Jones had those 7 rebounds, 7 points. Soriano was 4 for 5. Corbello, 3 for 4. And Posh and him did a great job again getting people involved. In the first half, they combined for 7 assists and 5 steals. That's just, wreaking havoc on the court. Posh obviously struggled to shoot, but he got it going in the second half. Pinzone, 7 points in the first half, hit a 3. Hit another contested long 2 that I didn't think was a great shot, but it went in. He's shown a nice ability to make plays offensively. He also had a really nice drive and a dump off on the baseline for a basket inside. Usu, 0 for 4 from 3 in the first half, was struggling from distance. Really didn't get anything to fall. 2 of those were wide open. One of them was that last shot in the half. Like to see him get going. He did have a much better second half. In the second half, you could see as things got going. Here, we'll get back to this. But in the second half, we were able to open up a little bit. Got it close to 20 points. Usu had a much better second half. We started to hit some shots. Jones got scoring. Posh got scoring. Montez with his feet set. Mathis hit 2 threes with his feet set before going out with an injury. Hopefully he's okay. But we got up to about 15 points. And again, it was just a back and forth, sloppy. I will still say sloppy. We did have 12 turnovers. Much less sloppy than we have been in some games, but still an up and down, not too fundamentally sound. Get your popcorn ready. Enjoy it if you're a St. John's fan. Second half. A lot of highlights, a lot of up and down, a lot of careless plays. We didn't, write any directions on, fundamentals in that second half, but we did see some exciting basketball. I will say we saw some really good passes, though. That one pick and roll bounce pass from Corbello to Naiwi was incredible. Wusu had a nice pass where you kind of weave into the paint and pass out to Corbello for a 3 was good. A lot of good stuff. Posh, offensive rebounding like a monster. I mean, if he was, bigger, if he was a power forward, he'd lead the country in rebounding. I know someone on the board said that tonight. Totally agree. I forget who mentioned it, but it's 100% true. Soriano, again, beast on the boards, another double-double. Corbello's really crafty, I think. People have probably mentioned it. I've probably mentioned it too already, but around the rim with the glass, he's very crafty. Can use angles well, creative finishing, and even at full speed, he's able to put enough English on the ball to give it a good shot at going in, whereas Posh struggles finishing going full speed at the rim. What else? Let's take a look at the box score for the total game. All right, the final. So you can see I got the cheat sheet up here, guys. Again, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I'm really having fun doing this. I appreciate all the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. It's great. Keep following along in there and on the Apple Podcast or Spotify. I do appreciate it, guys. Starters, all 5 of them in double figures. Led by Soriano, 17 points, 14 rebounds, 7 for 8 from the free throw line. That's just awesome to see. No turnovers, 2 blocks. I mean, the guy has really came together. And he's doing a little bit of everything. He's letting the game come to him. To have that dominant of a performance with only having 8 field goal attempts, I know, those free throws account for probably 3 or 4 other shot attempts, but still, he's not hogging the ball. He's not a black hole. We were almost hoping he would be a little more selfish. But another great game by him. Corbello, 15 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, 7 for 9 from the field, hit that 1-3. But the negative, you see it right there in red, 6 turnovers, too much. And a lot of these tonight were unforced, could have done without. In games that are closer against teams that are going to make you pay, you've got to take care of the basketball, and that's no secret. You can see tonight, Posh, much better, 0 turnovers compared to the 8 he had against Iowa State. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 offensive rebounds, 3 steals, 4 for 13 from the field. It's not a great shooting night, but did go 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Mathis had 10 points. Those 2 threes came early in the second half. He left in that, twisted up his ankle. Hopefully he's okay. And Jones, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. In the second half, I thought Jones made a really good decision on one play. He had a pretty good 3-point look at the top of the key. That would have been an all right look. And instead of forcing it, he drove left into the paint and finished at the rim. And I thought that was a really good sign. He wasn't settling. He was going to attack the glass. Then the next play down, he took a contested three. Go back to that one. Don't settle. Get to the rim, score from inside. It will open up your outside game. And on the bench, Pinzone, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Great overall game from him. Usu had a much better second half, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, no turnovers. And the other thing I want to point about the bench, AJ Storr. I love this kid, and you got to be patient with freshmen. And I think Coach is being patient with him, and he's not forcing him out there. Some people want him to be out there more. I get it. He's got talent. He's got athleticism. If you're just going to focus on scoring, he does things that you want to see. But look at that box score, and this is, all too consistent for what we've seen from him this early part of the year. No point, or I'm sorry, he does have 2 points. I made that correction on the box score because it has him at 0. But no rebounds, no assists, no steals, no blocks. 1 personal foul. You got to make an impact out there. Wusu, for his warts, when he makes plenty of mistakes and plenty of questionable plays. 5 rebounds tonight, 2 assists, 2 steals. Always fills with the box score. Pinzone has been much more aggressive on the glass this year. And when we play small, like we're going to be playing small, if we want Storr to get a lot of minutes, we're going to have to need our guards and our wings to chip in other areas, like Wusu does, like Pinzone does, like Mathis does, like Jones does well. All right. We need Storr to use his body, to use his athleticism to pick up some steals, to pick up some rebounds, to make some plays away from scoring the basketball. And that scoring will come. I think he's a natural scorer, and he will, in time, become more comfortable getting his own shot. And then once he gets a more comfortable role and his teammates trust him, that'll be there defensively, he'll be there on the boards, he'll be there to make the extra pass, he's going to get a whole bunch of more minutes. You got to be able to back the game for more than just scoring. And that's one thing the other guys on the team are doing better than him to this point. But the season's young, okay? The season's young, and we have 2 more out-of-conference games. New Hampshire coming up, then Florida State. Again, that Florida State game's a grenade game, but you got to get through New Hampshire first before you can even have a chance in that grenade game. But go 2-0, it would be a great end to the non-conference season. Go back into Big East play, and go from there. But guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe, please comment, please hit me up. Let me know what you think. For Pat Kane, this has been Phil Waite, Red Storm Rapid Reaction Podcast. Peace.